To tell you, I found a bottle of a porter or a stout I made back before Christmas that I thought I fucked up and burnt. In the back of Sarah's parents' fridge, and I tried it. Honestly, one of the best beers I've had in a minute.
Nice.
It was so good. I was very happy with that.
Yeah, some I don't know the science behind it, but some beers just do get better with age.
Usually your darker, heavier ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we had I had a Game of Thrones beer that Sarah got her dad back in like 2013 that he hadn't drunk, and I was like, "Can I have it?" It was like a Belgian double, and he was like, "Yeah, go nuts." The thing tasted like a port.
Oh,
it
that's
was
what
insane.
You were talking about.
Yeah. I was like, "This is
good.
Incredible." So I guess if you have a Belgian double, let it sit for almost 10 years, and stuff goes wonky with it.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, you keep that. You keep it at like the right temperature. Basically, just cellar it, and you should be all right.
I keep getting added to different groups on Skype for some reason, like crypto scams, and I keep jumping on and blowing up the spot of the scammers. It makes me happy. I enjoy fucking scammers.
Yeah.
I actually know somebody who got by a scammer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I heard about it, and I was like, it's a real bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah.
Listener, advice for you is no one's going to take your money and turn it into a Bitcoin fortune, and if anybody ever asks for gift cards, it's not the Social Security Administration, I promise you.
Yeah.
Because, like, those kind of scams, trust me, if the Social Security Administration thinks something's wrong with your account or the IRS thinks something's wrong, you're going to know. They're not just going to call you.
Well, also, I feel like, especially if it's like official government news, I feel like snail mail is probably the first form of communication.
The other thing is if somebody says they're from like the Social Security Administration and they tell you your own Social Security number, red flag that it is not the Social Security Administration, because they will never repeat your Social Security number out loud like that.
Yeah, that's because why would they need to repeat it if
they know it exactly?
Yeah, the official government entity that would have that information.
Yeah, it's scammers will buy that information off of the dark web and then use it against you like that, but they don't need to. Like, anytime I've done something like that, they're always like, don't say your Social Security number out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, more life advice from you, or for you.
Yeah, also a lot of, not a lot of organizations or institutions will be asking you to input your Social Security number.
Again, if they're calling you, they know it.
Yeah.
Listeners, I got a bad sunburn today. First one in a long time. I wore a tank top out for a walk, and my shithouse build kept the rest of my body from being burnt, but goddamn did my shoulders and chest get burnt.
Yeah. Good news is that I bought a beach umbrella. So yeah, because Gianna and I went to Point Pleasant the other day.
Yeah, how was that?
It was great. Was
it pleasant?
It was. Jenkinson's Boardwalk is there, so we did the beach in the morning. We were actually on the sand and settled in by like 9:45.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and then stayed there till about 11:45, and then we just walked around and did some stuff on the boardwalk afterwards.
Honestly, after going to Wildwood enough, I enjoy the boardwalk more than the actual beach.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the beach is relaxing, and I think that's more our pace for it. Like, there are plenty of people out there who are like, bring like any and all things that you can do on a New Jersey beach, like build sand castles and just like throw a ball or a frisbee. But
or if you're me, walk around all of our beach chairs with my feet dragging to make a moat.
That too. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, the way that New Jersey's built itself is that if you want to like do fun activities, the boardwalk is your best bet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty nice. But yeah, I do agree with you. It's doing stuff on the boardwalk is really nice.
I wish the boardwalk had open container laws, or lax open container laws. It'd be nice.
Yeah,
but they're very strict.
Yeah, you can't even take alcohol on the beach.
Yeah, that's a new thing now. They will now they reserve the right to check your coolers.
Yeah, I remember there was this couple in front of us that actually had a cooler. It wasn't overly big, but it was like one of those that was like big enough to have like two wheels and like the longish handle. And they got flagged and they couldn't take it.
Yeah, that's like you used to just bring a cooler, you bring the beers in the cooler, and then you put them in like a travel cup.
Yeah.
But now you can't even do that. They'll search your cooler.
Yeah.
It sucks. People ruined it because people don't know how to behave.
Well, I've been hearing that a lot of towns have been shutting down either like the town itself, possibly the boardwalk, but definitely the beaches early because they've had problem with teenagers just doing stupid shit late at night.
It's because the teenagers have nothing else to do, and that's what people don't understand. It annoys the fuck out of me. It's people are like, why do these kids keep getting in trouble? I'm like, because you keep closing the parks, the pools, and anything for them to do. What else is there to do? Like, I hate to tell you, but like, kids are dumb. That's a fact. So if they have nothing to do, they're going to do dumb shit. That's just how kids are. Like, trust me, you were dumb as a kid too. You may not remember it, but ask your parents.
100%.
Unless you were like you and I imagine we just played video games most of the time. I had my dumb years in my like 20 to 24.
Yeah, but I mean every kid goes through that. But also it's like to any parent out there, it's like even if your kid doesn't go out and like, you know, quote unquote parties like every weekend, it's like, you know, there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yes.
Because for us, it's like we were never out really past like midnight. We weren't looking for trouble. We weren't looking for fights. I mean,
even during our party days, we were usually in bed by midnight.
Yeah, and it's like, and even during those days, it's like both of us were kind of like of the opinion, like, how do people close out bars?
No, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, there were plenty of times where even when we were hanging out at like other people's dorms, where it was just like, screw this, I'm tired, I'm going home.
It gets to the point where it's kind of like wound down. No one's like wild anymore. Everyone's just kind of like sitting there talking or on their phones, and you're just sleepy and you want to go to bed.
Yeah. But
or you get thrown out of a party because some guy was drunk and got mad at your best friend for knocking over an empty bottle.
Yeah.
That was...
Those were the days.
That makes me so mad because that was the only party I've ever been to where I'm like, this is actually really fun.
Yeah, but, you know...
What are you going to do?
But I still remember, like, you telling me, like, literally just before that happened, because I didn't see the table, it's like you told me that the keg was kicked.
Yeah.
So it's not like a lot of stuff was going to happen after that anyway. But I remember kind of, like, going back to, like, the whole party thing a little bit. I remember my parents and I were walking the boardwalk at Asbury Park, and this family's passing by us, and it's... All I remember was that the father was talking at his teenage daughter, and all I hear him say in like a really critical tone was, "You need to get out more. All you do is sit at home and do nothing." And my very first reaction without skipping a beat was, "Could be worse, man. She could be out doing drugs and getting pregnant."
Life advice for any parent listening to this: first off, listen to something better. Second, the best thing you can do as a parent, even if you don't agree with what your kids are doing, is support your kid. Because, like, I would say 80% of the time, they're just kind of going to grow out of the shit you don't want them doing.
Yeah.
And if you don't fight back against it, it's not going to get worse, usually. Now, there's that 20% of the time where you need to work with your kid and be like, don't do this. But, like, you really got to let it run its course first. Like, let them get a little older.
Yeah. Well, also, just because your kid doesn't go out on the weekends doesn't mean they have a bad social life.
Yeah. Or the reverse. Just if they're gone all the time, still talk to them. Maybe they need to talk to somebody. Sometimes you hide the pain by being busy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the dumb trivia.
Yeah.
Serious bits.
Find the sweet spot.
Yeah, you just honestly communicate with your kid. Treat your kid like the young adult they are, and respect them, and you will have an easier time.
Yeah.
As somebody who was a kid not too long ago.
Yeah. Same here.
Like, I hated being told what to do in the way that it was like, I'm telling you what to do because I'm an adult or I'm your superior. Even now, I hate that. Like, I hate when the boss is like, do this, and like, don't really explain why. Talk to them. Communicate.
The because I said so, not
it's
your best
worst.
tactic.
Because, like, most kids just by nature are going to be like, no. Even if they want to do it, like, they're just not going to give you the satisfaction. Just be an adult about it.
Yeah, because it's the whole adolescent spite.
Mm-hmm. But, like, if you explain to somebody why they need to do it, like, hey, child, don't get blackout drunk when you're 16 because you can mess your brain up. Also, you can die. Not a good call.
Yeah.
It's probably better than just being like, because I said don't drink.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kids don't drink. It can really fuck your head up when you're young. Yeah. Don't do anything that's gonna like mess up your like brain chemistry before you're like a decently older.
Yeah.
Even 21's up in the air because they still say it's like 25 is when your brain stops forming. And I'm like, 25 should be the age then of like everything.
Maybe stops forming isn't the best language. It's finished forming.
Yeah, it's like
developing.
Done. Yeah, you're like, if that's the case, that should be like the age for everything. Like, you're an adult now at 25 because fuck, man, I couldn't imagine age 18 being thrown out like on my own.
Yeah.
Even now, I don't like. I'm almost 28, and I'm still like, damn, I'm doing this.
Yeah. Well, it's like with the way. Well, it's like with the way things have changed. It's like you can't. It's like it's not like you can leave home at 18, find a full time job, and actually like support yourself, even if you're just by yourself.
I financially, depending on where I live, I mean, I guess I probably could have done it in my area with my first like big boy job. But like the area I live now, I could not have done it with my first big boy job without my fiance as my roommate.
Yeah,
I could not have. Like the rent I'm paying now is about what we paid total for our first apartment.
Okay,
and I couldn't imagine paying the like $1,400 almost a month now with my first like job.
Yeah,
I thought it was a lot back then, and it was only like $600. I miss it so much.
Yeah.
Such an easy rent. That should be the price. $600 should just be the rent in general. It's so dumb.
Yeah, for me, where with the area that I live, it's like minimum rent is like $1,000.
That's not washer dryer 1-bedroom apartment.
Something like that. Yeah,
it's not bad if with Gianna.
No, but again, it's like it's
still a lot
we're
of
not.
money.
I mean, it is a lot of money, but it's like neither of us are. Well, I'm a little bit closer to it than she is, but it's like, but bottom line, it's like we want to move in together, but both of us just aren't ready yet, so it's not a good idea to do it.
If your parents aren't throwing you out, and more dumb trivia advice. This isn't even. This is supposed to be dumb trivia complaint corner. It's dumb trivia advice corner.
Oh, we'll get to the complaint corner.
More advice. If your parents aren't forcing you out of the house and you can tolerate living with them, live with them for a decent amount of time until it like becomes an actual issue, because it's just not like living alone's kind of overrated. It's expensive.
It's nice until it's not.
Exactly, especially if you're alone. Like with somebody else is easier, but like if you're alone, don't rush out of your house if you don't have to.
Yeah.
Save up money, try to get in a good situation, help your parents out, like pay rent to your folks. That's the other thing. If you're like decently aged, like help out the folks. If they need it, mow the lawn.
Yeah.
Give your dad a high five occasionally. I don't know. Yeah. Make him feel like you're an asset to have around.
Well, at least if you're gonna if you're gonna stay home and not pay the rent, don't do like the whole meatloaf bit.
Don't be a burden. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be as self-sufficient as you can living at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I was. I know that's how you are. That's how Corey is. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, on that note, it's like so there were a few times where all jokingly or totally jokingly, my dad would say, if you keep doing this, I'm gonna make you start paying rent. To which I would, in all seriousness, look him dead in the eye and say, how much? Because depending on that number, if it was low enough, it could be
I would do it.
It's like, yeah, I would, because there's no way I'm gonna find a deal like that anywhere. Perhaps in this area, much less the entire state of New Jersey.
Yeah, I was looking at houses again, man.
Yeah,
dude, it's so bad.
Yeah, I know. What is it? I think from what I've heard, I think word of mouth is that it's still a renter's market.
I don't know. I hope it's going to one day be a buyer's market again, but it's looking grim, man.
Yeah. Well, it also doesn't help that Now, granted, this might not be totally the case, but it's like it doesn't help that like corporations are like buying up places and just like flipping them for like like absurdly huge amounts of money.
Well, did you ever a really fucked up map is homeowner rates down in New Orleans? I think like over 50% of the houses are owned by Airbnb groups.
Yeah, that doesn't help either.
Bad. It's so bad.
There's the companies that are buying houses and flipping them. There's Airbnb going virtually unchecked, and then there's the piss poor quality of the new construction that was built during the pandemic. So,
dude, all new counterpoint, all new. I hate new construction houses.
Yeah. So inventory is incredibly low.
I'm gonna get a house built. I'm not buying. I'm buying land. Going to build a house, and the people who are going to build it are going to be Amish folks and Japanese woodworkers. There's not going to be a single fucking nail in that house. It's all going to be hinge and joint.
Dude, those things are insane.
I've seen some of them because the Amish can do it fast and the Japanese do it well. Well, the Amish do it well too, but a combo would be insane.
But it's like just figuring out all that geometry and whatnot, and just seeing like how everything fits together. It's almost it almost makes you wonder what's the physics behind like hammering a nail into 2x4s.
Well, have you ever seen? I forget what it's called, that you can like basically hang something and have it support itself on a ledge.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen those before.
Where, like, it hangs off the ledge, but the weight pushing back keeps it from falling over the ledge.
Yeah,
something
I don't remember.
Like that.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, physics is a hell of a drug.
Physics is weird, but you know what's not a hell of a drug?
Dumb Trivia Complaint Corner?
This is the Dumb Trivia Complaint Corner. Complaint number 1, get it out of the way. Corey's not here, and that sucks, but he's in Tennessee, and that's fun.
Yeah.
Not yet, but he will be in Tennessee. He's busy right now with Tennessee shit.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Wait, who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
The Dumb Trivia subscribers know me as Bob.
That's true.
But I'm Andres.
Normal.
No.
Normal.
Oh, no, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Shit. Either way, if you want bonus content, subscribe to the Dumb Trivia podcast.
Yes. You can check it out in the links below.
But I'm Andres.
And I'm Christian, and together we are 2/3 of Dumb Trivia. We are Dumb Trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dumb
and we brought... Yeah, Dumb Trip. And we brought back the complaint corner because I really like doing it. I've got a list of complaints.
I do too. I think I've got a couple here that I was considering like my mother of all bombs. So I think I might say them here because who knows when we're gonna do this again.
I don't know why Corey's so against it. He loves to bitch, and so do we. But
I mean, I get it. It gets tiring after a little bit.
Not to me. Got a lot to bitch about.
Yeah, I'm all for variety, but still, we haven't repeated any topic that we've had for the after show. So, and again, it's like we can fall back to whatever. Yeah. So it's like unless somebody or something sticks. Yeah, unless something sticks, or if any of our listeners wish to, hear or wish to request a topic for
that's true.
One of our after shows, by all means, request
Go
away.
Nuts.
We'll work it into the schedule.
But do you want to go first and cracking at this?
Yeah, sure. I don't remember the last time that I heard this argument ever being said, but one of the complaints that I have is anyone who expects head but doesn't give head. It's just that every argument that I've heard that defends this is just
real weak.
Yeah, like, it really is.
Evolution's coming for you, and you're not lasting.
Yeah, it's like why would you deny your partner any sort of pleasure
but expect the same?
Yeah, so it's like fucking dive on in there and go to town, man.
Put on a little bib on your shirt and have a nice evening.
Do some jaw stretches. Get in there.
I was gonna start with something a little more PG than that. I was gonna complain.
That was
Started strong.
Yeah,
slim fit Hawaiian shirts.
That kind of defeats the purpose.
That's what I'm saying. I need Hawaiian shirts. Hawaiian shirts would always be default 2 sizes too big. Like you buy one that fits, but it doesn't. It's too big.
Yeah.
I hate it. I don't know how many times I've been to Old Navy, like slim fit. I'm like, no, this isn't for you. Hawaiian shirts are not for skinny people. That is not yours. You're appropriating my lifestyle.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Stop it. Give me back the shirts.
Yeah,
you dumb bitch.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a well-fitting button-down shirt. But but
not a Hawaiian shirt.
The Hawaiian doesn't fit the bill because there's really only two concepts that I can think of when it comes to a well-fitted button-down, and that's either like business attire or Indiana Jones.
Fair enough.
But
I think Indy just tucked his in though.
I mean, he did, but it still fit well.
Honestly, I'm gonna extend the complaint. Flannels fall into the same argument.
Yeah, that I could see. Because again,
they shouldn't be slim fit. They don't give.
Yeah, the whole point of a flannel is kind of like an outer layer. That shouldn't fit. Yeah, because I'm right there with you. That shouldn't fit either. Because at that point, you could be wearing enough shirts where it's like you just throw a flannel. You throw a flannel over, like, I don't know what, the sleeveless, the short sleeve, the long sleeve, and then throw a flannel over that. By that point, you need at least one size bigger.
That was when Corey and I went for that hike in the middle of December. I did short sleeve or long sleeve thermal shirt, flannel, and then a jacket over it. Spoiler: we did not need all that because by like 11 o'clock it was like 40 degrees and we were just dripping sweat. We're like, oh. And then we were prepared for such a big hike, and we went 9 miles. But at one point on the trail, we passed a bunch of little kids in Crocs, and we were like, fucking idiots.
Yeah. I mean,
the difference is they probably only did a little hike. We did the full 9 miles.
Yeah. I feel like there aren't that many things that you can be forgiven for over preparing, but I feel like hiking is definitely one of them.
I mean, better to be over prepared and not need it than the reverse.
Yeah, I mean, it's like better that you wear more layers than you'll need, because then you can always shed them and put them in your bag.
That's how it worked.
Yeah, that's why I usually try to fill all 3 liters of my hydration bladder.
Oh yeah, you can never have too much water.
Yeah, and after hiking in Vail, what was that? 2 years ago now? 1 or 2 years? A couple of years ago.
Was I there?
No, you weren't. This was in Colorado. It was just me and my sister. For all intents and purposes, we hiked up like this ski slope. And that, hiking up that hill, and also with the elevation of being essentially in the Rockies, that's when I discovered that the power of electrolytes.
Power of electrolytes.
Yeah, because I mean that because that's when we both were like, we're not used to this altitude. We don't hike this often. We should probably bring some Gatorade, and that really helped more than anything else. We had water, we had snacks, but Gatorade definitely helped.
I discovered the power of electrolytes twice in my life. The first time, and then I rediscovered it. Yeah. First time when I was in high school, we had a thing during football practice called Hell Week, and it was in the middle of June.
Oh, I remember you telling me about Hell Week. Yeah.
I would go start practice at 9 in the morning and go till 5 in the afternoon. And on day 2 or 3, I started just shitting liquid straight. Ooh. And I was like talking to my parents, like, I don't know what's wrong. They're like, nothing. Like, drink a Gatorade. Like you're like violently dehydrated, and your body just doesn't know what to do. Drank a Gatorade, I was fine within an hour. Yeah. Same happened up in Vermont. Very hungover for like 2 days straight until I finally went and got a Gatorade, and it fixed me up right away. So
yeah.
If you're sweating a lot or drinking a lot, man, a Gatorade can really... Also, if you plan on drinking a lot and you're like, ooh, what do we need to be ready because we're like in our 30s now, Liquid IV or Gatorade, don't buy Pedialyte, because Pedialyte ounce for ounce is the same as Gatorade, but it's sold as a health, like a medicine, so it's way more expensive.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
And then also I think it's more marketed towards kids than anything else, so that's going to make it a little bit more expensive.
If you buy Pedialyte, the old man who runs the Vermont grocery store will make fun of you for it.
Well, that was because we were a group of, 6, and we bought 4.
We bought all of
5.
it. They were like...
Oh, did we buy all of it?
Yeah, because we left and we heard him go, isn't that went to the boys who bought all of our Pedialyte yesterday? Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was great.
Andres, you got another one?
Yeah. What was it? So, give me a second here. Oh, yeah. So, as I've said before, I work at a grocery store, and one thing that I can't stand... One of the many things I can't stand about customers is when they're looking for a specific item, but they can't tell you the exact name of the product.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I've got a really good story for this. It's this. So I get called to help assist this older woman, and she's like, and by the time she gets to me, she's throwing a fit, saying it's like, I've been walking up and down 3 or 4 different aisles. I've talked to 3 different people. They can't tell me exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this very specific cherry juice. It's like at this point I should get paid to try to find it from this store. And I'm like, all right, I'll look it up to see if we have it. What's the name of the product? And she goes, I'll know it when I see it.
Oh, yeah. And I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like, and the best part about that was it's like the last place that that they had to check was the juice aisle.
So she found it in the juice aisle?
Yeah.
I wish Corey was here to see what he had to say about an old person.
Yeah.
By God, I don't get it.
I mean, yeah, I don't get it either. It's like it's, and again, I've had numerous interactions that have happened like this, but none that were like this
bad.
This bad, yeah, for lack of a better term. It's like it's like, if you're, it's like, it's kind of one of those like help us help you sort of things.
Yeah.
It's like that's fine if you don't know the name of the product, but if you like don't really necessarily have like a general sense of like exactly what it is. But it's like, any and all information helps.
Yeah, that's the issue. If you're gonna do it, give us something to work with. Don't just be like cherry juice.
Yeah,
juice.
Yeah, tell me about it. There was another one where this guy walks up to my boss and myself, and he's like, I'm looking for this specific wine. I have a picture of it, and it's like, do you guys sell this? And he turns his phone towards us, and I shit you not, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe this. The bottle of wine that he was looking for was turned in such a way that only like 30% of the label was actually facing the camera.
Did you find it?
We didn't know what the hell it was.
Oh,
it was like literally there was like such a small portion of the label that I think my boss actually looked at him and said, based on the picture that you're showing us, I don't know what that is.
I hope this man found his wine.
It's like if that's what you're gonna, if that's all the information that you can give us, it's like, dude, try again tomorrow.
Okay. Why do I have to take a dump every time I go to Barnes & Nobles? That's my complaint.
Oh, I've heard a conspiracy theory about this.
Okay.
I only call it a conspiracy theory for dramatic effect.
Okay.
But the theory is that there's...
Do they play the brown note?
No, it's not that. The conspiracy theory is that the adhesive that was used in the bookbinding has some sort of, for lack of a better term, ingredient in it that's a natural laxative.
I like it. it. The problem is I take a dookie within like 5 minutes of being in the store.
Well, no. That's the whole point.
Is that fast acting?
Yeah, no. Well, it's not that it's that fast acting. It's that I think the other part of it is that as the longer that books stay on the shelf, the older this adhesive gets. So I think it could break down and essentially go airborne.
I kind of thought it was to make you feel like you're at home, so you buy shit. See, if I was Barnes & Nobles, I would make our toilets so nice, and knowing that everyone has to take a dookie when they get there.
Yeah.
I always do.
Yeah. Now, again, I've never confirmed that. All I've heard is that, that's like some fucking, that's just some like mumbo jumbo that you hear off of like some random reel in your algorithm.
So there's that one, which I think is honestly makes a lot of sense to me. But you know what the other one might be? And it's the fact that most people go to Barnes & Nobles and the first thing they do is get a cup of coffee at the Starbucks or other coffee shop in there.
That I could see too.
I love not so much a Barnes & Nobles guy anymore. I became a Books A Million fan. I spent a lot of good days in Books A Million with a friend of mine, and they always have really good coffee shops in them. Not just Starbucks. They're like Joe's, which is like a smaller chain.
Yeah. Not to give away too much of my personal information, but they're the one, as far as I know, the one independent bookstore that's near me is called Labyrinth.
Okay.
And they've got
I want to go.
Yeah, they've got some interesting stuff in there because I forget what was it. There have been a couple of interesting books that I found, and if my reading comprehension was better, I could actually get through and read. Dude, I've always been a slow reader. Yeah, one of them that I picked up just kind of for shits and giggles was I believe it was titled "Is Your Job Bullshit?"
Yes.
And they were just like, and it was kind of the whole like just the whole like out of left field like conspiracy theory that it's like, it's like your job isn't necessary for society for X, Y, and Z and blah 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 blah. From an ironic standpoint, it was kind of interesting to read.
I mean, like I would say a good 45% of all jobs in the modern society is just pushing money around.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, you're like a middleman for money flowing one way or the other. That's why I started brewing beer, because you know what? In the apocalypse, there won't be much need for mid-level government bureaucrats.
Yeah.
But brewers...
yeah, it's kind of... It almost reminds me in a sense of do you remember the movie Defiance?
Yes, I've never seen it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Basically, it's about this group of Russian Jews that band together during World War II to basically like form a society in the woods, so that way they don't get hunted down and killed by the Germans.
Fair enough.
But it kind of reminds me of that in the sense that it's like anyone that had any sort of like trade job, like, or any like manual labor job, could really contribute to that society. Meanwhile, anyone that had like any sort of white collar job, it was like kind of like a little bit in the weeds in the beginning, because it's like what did they use? Like an accountant, what do they know about like building any sort of like structure out in the woods? You know, building a fire for that matter.
Yeah, white collar jobs really only are needed at the like after, like the dawn or like the noon of a civilization. Not even the dawn. It's after everything's established.
The height of a civilization, if you will.
Yeah. No, my job, my degree, everything is useless to me in the post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb. Do you want to get one more complaint each?
Yeah, I've got a couple more that I can do that are not as heavy, but my first two.
Give me some rapid fire small ones.
Okay, I've got two for you, so I can double tap you here.
Okay.
Actually, I got three. Never mind. I keep looking at this. I'll just start. Cheap toilet paper.
Yes.
Like toilet paper that you find in like public bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That it's not very absorbent. Structurally speaking, it's horrible.
They're spending more money.
Yeah. It's got like a rough texture, so that really kind of contributes to like rashes and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So there's that one. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, give me your other two.
Here's a lighter one. Hot dogs and hot dog buns being sold at different quantities.
Yes.
So it's like
there's a trick to it to get you to buy more of the other.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But still, it's such an inconvenience, and then it's like, I'm not good at doing math on the fly or in my head in general. So it's like, I'm standing there, almost it looks like I'm like 2 seconds away from having a stroke trying to figure out what quantity of hot dogs and buns or like what quantity of packages I'm going to need of hot dogs and hot dog buns in order to like actually reach some sort of equilibrium.
Andre's having to buy 6 packs of hot dog buns and 3 packs of hot dogs just to match them up.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, it's bad. And then on top of that, you got to figure out like how, like it's like how many people are going to be eating these hot dogs. It's like, is it just like your family of like maybe 4 or 5, or are you throwing a party and you got to be sure, man, how many hot dogs is everybody going to have? How much food is also going to be there? Mm-hmm. And it goes on. It just adds up too quickly. Another one, video games being the same price for digital download as they are for physical disc.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to piggyback on your video game one real quick.
Yeah, sure.
When you are in a moment of video game where you have to follow an NPC, and for some godforsaken reason, the NPC's walk speed is not the same as yours.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's so slow.
Fuck. I forget what game I've been playing lately, but they have it tied to your speed. So if you start running, the NPC will also start running to keep up with you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I hate it. Thank God it's like kind of going away.
Yeah. It's like the thing that gets me is that your video games have pretty much like, at least like big name video games have always been expensive. Like I always remember video games being like $60 even before I got my first Xbox.
And now they're 70.
Yeah, now they're 70. And on top of that, you're still paying that $70, $60, $70 price tag for both like going to a brick and mortar store or buying it off of like, I don't know, whatever, like the Microsoft store or PlayStation store and downloading it digitally.
I will say the only benefit is the digital downloads, a lot of good sales.
Yeah. I mean, that,
So-
yeah, I'm not knocking it in general. I'm just, or the fact
I
that
agree.
that's available. It's like, why am I still paying the same price even though I'm just
Yeah.
getting a bunch of ones and zeros? And since I'm locked into this, to the console system, well, at least theoretically, I'm locked into the console system. So if I ever upgrade, it might be, it's a feasible. Transferring the file will be feasible, just kind of like a pain in the ass to the point where I'll consider not doing it.
Yeah.
But also, what happens if you buy any some really stupid expensive special edition of the game where you get merch with it? Mm-hmm. Like if you say you buy that off of the console's store, it's like, how are you getting the merch that's supposed to come with it? Are they sending it to you?
Usually you don't. Yeah.
Did you just get ripped off and now you bought like a $250 or you bought a $70 video game for $250?
Yeah. Also, never do that. It's never worth it.
Yeah.
Especially the day and age of digital games. It's never worth it to pre-order either.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of doing it was making sure you get it day one, but with the hit or miss quality of a lot of AAA games lately, it's not worth it. I would just wait to see what people say and then download it that day.
Oh, yeah, that's what is it? That's what I did for both Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption 2.
I feel like both of those, though, you could have actually, you know what? You could have pre-ordered those.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
yeah.
It's still a
risk.
It's still a commitment, not just because of the potential hours that you could put in the game, but also it's like $70 is like
heavy.
$70 is a heavy price.
It is a lot to ask.
Yeah. Let's see. Give me a second here. Yeah, the last one I got for you is American food standards.
Yeah. Why?
It's
yeah. Are you gonna say about how we eat shit that you can't even feed to animals over in Europe?
I mean, that's kind of part of it, but also it's like my dad was telling me that a lot of chains that we as Americans are familiar with are better in other parts of the world because they have better food standards.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. I know this is kind of weird to like plug a brand that's not sponsoring us, but
we've never done that before.
Yeah, I know, right? One of the ways that you can kind of like see this theory is do your best to find Cadbury chocolate.
You can only find it around Easter.
Yeah, I'm talking like just like a regular like chocolate bar from Cadbury.
Aldi's.
It just tastes better.
Yeah. It's because they still use cocoa butter.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah. You can talk to my mom about that. She swears Hershey's has fallen off since they switched from cocoa butter.
Honestly, I was about to say that. It's like, as much as I'm going to hurt a lot of people saying this, Hershey's has gone to shit.
No, honestly.
It's just not, it just doesn't taste good.
More life advice. If you want good chocolate, go to the Aldi's or Lidl's near you, because they're everywhere now. And they have like all this Swedish and German chocolate. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
For like a quarter of the price.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, and it's like, our standards could be better, but part of the reason why they're just not is because, at least from what I've heard, is that we just don't want them to be better.
I was gonna say it would make the money upset.
Oh yeah, all the greedy people up top are gonna, all the way at the top of the ivory tower are gonna be upset.
Yeah, the bottom line's gonna get hurt. You don't want that.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
They'll cut into our profit margin.
Shut the fuck up.
I'll only get $4 million for my bonus instead of the usual $5 million.
Speaking of jobs that don't need to exist, I got two quick ones for you.
Go for it.
To round this out. First one, everyone can agree with me on this. Just mosquitoes.
Yeah.
It's cool. They actually are saying if you want to make an argument of an apex predator for humans, they are mosquitoes. They have killed the more than any animal or disease.
Yeah. And also they're, I mean, not at this point anymore, but they have been pretty big disease carriers.
Down in Florida, they have malaria outbreaks, and leprosy is now an endemic in Florida, which is insane to me. So you got leprosy and malaria down in Florida. You have tuberculosis in New York again.
Yeah.
So we're doing it really is the 1920s, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. At least the CDC or the WHO hasn't, at least as far as I know, hasn't put out any information on this. Like, are we talking Are we talking about like a new mutation of these diseases where they have been impervious to our vaccines, or is it just because too many anti-vaxxers have popped up and now the diseases are back?
Yeah, as far as I know, that's what's brought back TB. I don't know if there is a malaria vaccine. Is there? I kind of thought it was a don't get malaria.
I don't know if there is. Truth be told, I do not know either if there is a vaccine for malaria. And
there is.
Oh, there is. You looked it up real quick. Cool.
Yeah.
All of my.
We probably got it actually.
Oh, okay.
So you're right, anti-vaxxers.
Yeah. All of my World War II movies just told me just take quinine.
Quinine. Yep. Tonic water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I know that.
Yeah.
Or have sickle cell anemia.
Oh, does that keep you from getting malaria?
So malaria is a parasite, and it goes into your blood cells. And if you have sickle cell anemia, the blood cell isn't big enough, so the parasite just keeps bursting the blood cells and eventually just dies in your bloodstream.
Huh. Yeah. I have heard of that theory of using one disease to fight another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But getting back to the tonic water thing, that's how the gin and tonic came about.
I have heard that because tonic water is pretty rough on its own.
Yeah, because surprise, surprise. I think it was popularized by British soldiers stationed in India.
Andres, what were they doing in India? War crimes and crimes
Expansion.
against humanity.
Yeah.
Expansion.
Empirical expansion.
Yes.
Yeah, so they were given tonic water because it had the quinine, so it could help them fight off malaria. But tonic water and with quinine in it tastes bad. Like I think it's really bitter. So the British soldiers had nothing better to do but to add gin to it.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you have a bottle of tonic water, shine a UV light on it. It glows.
Yeah, it does.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in case you have a black light laying around.
Yes. Last complaint for the day. Ready?
Yes.
Papayas. What the fuck, man? Why do the seeds of papayas taste like black peppercorns and the flesh of the papaya tastes like the worst like custard you've ever had in your life? I don't get it. They're not a good fruit.
Yeah.
If you don't come at me. I don't want to hear your argument for a papaya being good because they're not.
No, I'm trying to think now. It's like I have heard the seeds taste like black pepper, but I've never tried the seeds myself because I feel like that's a little weird.
I'm here to tell you they taste like black pepper. It's weird as shit.
Yeah. Every time I've seen cut ripe papaya, it's always served with like a couple of lime wedges. So
okay. Maybe it makes it better.
Yeah, so it's like eating a ripe papaya on its own is apparently not a thing.
Well, it's not good.
Yeah, or in poor taste rather.
It is in poor taste, yes.
And also, the only other time I've seen a papaya prepared when it's not ripe is green papaya salad at any like Vietnamese restaurant.
Maybe a little better that way, but straight up no, it's like
well, yeah, that's exactly my support for your point. It's like at what point do you eat a papaya, ripe or not, by itself?
You don't
have it be good.
You don't, because I had one that is ripe, and like I said, it tasted like a custard that was unsweet, unflavored. It was gross.
Yeah.
Put me in mind of durian, actually, in a weird way.
Ooh.
I have not had real
durian hurts.
I've not had real durian. I had like durian wafer rolls that Sarah got in one of her like universal snack boxes.
Oh yeah.
And it was a weird experience. Not bad, but just weird.
Yeah. We at work we used to get in. It was either durian pods or jackfruit pods. It might have been jackfruit pods.
I feel like you would know if you got durian pods in.
Well, yeah, because for those of you that don't know, you break into a whole durian, it smells like rotting flesh.
Isn't it Indonesia or the Philippines? You can't bring them on subways.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't bring them on like certain public transport because it smells that bad. But I think it was jackfruit, but it was. I know it's similar, but obviously not the same thing. But that jackfruit was so funky to the point where it tasted like cheese.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
On that weird note.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, culture yourself, try different fruits for yourself, but just kind of go in with the mindset that it might taste like cheese. Yeah, or that you might just it's such an acquired taste and grows in a very small specific part of the world that you're not going to like it.
Which is fine. It happens.
That is.
God, we give a lot of good life advice this after show.
Yeah. Well, no, this is nice.
Yeah, it's good.
This was
not
very
just all
nice.
complaints. Sometimes it's real life lessons for the listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah. My back teeth are floating. That's
that's totally fine. I've been there.
So listeners, thanks for hanging around on the Complaint Corner. You know the drill. Check out the stuff below for links, supporter shows, subscribe so you can listen to the bonus episodes.
Subscribe, check out our merch on Redbubble, share the podcast, and at any and all conveniences.
Yeah, just tell your friends, family, loved ones, enemies, mailman, grocery store clerk, let them all know.
Yeah.
Your dogs.
Yeah. I don't know if we've done a listener shout out listener shout out recently, but thank you to Sanford, North Carolina. Last I checked, you had the most downloads.
Yeah, whoever you are down there, let us know, because that's one out of left field. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. So for Corey, this is Christian
and Andres.
Andres, tell me the words I want to hear.
Oh yes. I'll never be good enough for Corey, but that's also because his standards are unobtainable. Either way, roll the outro.
It's Dumb Trivia, where the questions are dumb and the hosts are dumber. It's Dumb Trivia. You'll probably learn a lot of things you didn't want to discover. You don't win anything, but that's alright. You can look down on your buddies with your bragging rights. Hang with Corey, Andres, and Christian too. They're best friends, now they're friends with you. Knowing nothing is the only criteria. Come on, it's Dumb Trivia.